Okay, so hey guys, and welcome back to another Axel 72 video, and today's video, it's a pleasure to have Connor Meanwell back on the channel. Connor, it's been a little while, mate. How's things been?
No, I'm good, mate. I know it's been a while, but it's good to be back and get myself ready for my next upcoming fight and talking to the likes of you and stuff like that. So yeah, mate, it's good. It's good to be back.
And yeah, no, it's been a little bit of an interesting year. We'll get into it a bit more in just a moment, but it's been nice to see your fight get announced again. Nice to see you back fighting. And for anybody that may not know, am I right in saying you're a 28-year-old super welterweight?
Yes.
Yes, brilliant stuff. Okay, and so I suppose that the first question is, overall, since the fight's been announced March 23rd, how's preparations been going?
The preparation for this has been going great. It's been going good. Obviously, I've been a bit quiet last year after my last fight, but for this one, to be fair, I've been sparring like a lot of good lads as well. I just sparred Jamie Beeham today with 6 rounds because he's got a 6-rounder coming up. So, as quality of sparring compared to like my other camps, it's been great. Actually, it's been really great. And also I've been training up and down the country as well, because I also, because it's the start of my career, I also got a job to maintain as well before, I can ever make it somewhere. And it involves me working away and stuff like that. And then the good thing with that is I get to train at other gyms, other boxing gyms and stuff like that. So it's going great, mate. Going great.
Amazing. It's like I say, it's good to hear you in good spirits, and good to hear that you're back doing what you enjoy doing. And so I suppose if we are to get into it and speak about what's been going on since the last time I speak to you, obviously you people may not know you've had a couple fights, and not quite gone your way decision wise, but of course, what's the kind of reasoning behind that, and how tough has it been?
So obviously the last time I spoke to you personally was in March last year.
Yep. And
obviously since then I've went under the radar a little bit because I had a couple of things in my personal life that that involve legal issues, shall I say. And obviously it's a known thing. Obviously I was put in the papers and whatnot, and obviously I had to deal with that sort of thing. So I did take 2 fights on the road. One thing I've always said I'd never do, but I also kind of needed the money for that particular reason, for legal fees and stuff like that. And I am just a human being, and desperate times calls for desperate measures. And obviously I initially just took those fights for payday. Now, look, nothing against the guys that I fought. Like I fought Ben Crocker, and he's top notch. You know what I mean? He's up there. I think he's got a big fight coming up next. But they knew what I was coming for. They already knew why I was doing it. And then I fought Tyler Christopher, I think his name was. Going into it, I didn't really prepare for it and stuff like that. I just kind of used my experience throughout the years to get me through the fights and stuff like that, especially with Ben Crocker. With Tyler Christopher though, I was meant to have 6 rounds with him, but it ended up 4 rounds,
right. Which
is alright, okay, because obviously you get paid for that, like certain more when it's more rounds, and I just thought, right, okay. And then as I was like getting into the 2nd round, I thought I'm landing. You know what I mean? And I wasn't even, like I'm saying, I'm not taking anything away from him, but I wasn't trying. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I know what I was there for. I came to get the money because I needed the money. And with Tyler, I was landing. I was fucking going, and I said to Carl in the corner, I was like, shall I up the pace a bit? You know what I mean? Shall I just give it him a little bit? Because I might just cause an upset. Because obviously I'm not planning on keeping him like this. I ain't going to take that journeyman's role. Obviously I'm here for this reason. And then obviously I just started landing. And then I lost the fight through a split decision. And I said to him immediately after the fight, I was just like, me and you have a rematch instead of like let me have 2 weeks notice. Like obviously they knew what I was doing it for. I agreed, so it's not their fault. But I said, how about me and you a rematch, 6 rounds? Because I was just taking. I've said before, I'm a 6-round fighter. I'm an 8-round because my style. I'm like a pressure fighter. I end up mauling you, and I could tell he was fading. And I just thought if I had 2 more rounds, I could probably like nick this as well, especially on his own turf. But so that's the reason why I've been a bit quiet, and obviously going through all that process, still ongoing legally. But obviously, you know, I'm in a good headspace now. Obviously, spoke to Carl, my manager, and plus he's my trainer, and obviously got this big fight coming up on March the 23rd, and you know, I'm going to go back on my original track, my, you know, the train what I was on, and obviously go for it. So.
No, of course, and I mean the last time, like you say, we did speak, it was about a year ago, and I mean I got to watch your fight live, and you know it was a real privilege. It was, you know, a great fight, and you know you could see that there's clear talent there, and like you mentioned, you're not really kind of going in there and, you know, aiming to do anything but win, and you know it's nice to see you when you are at your best, and it's good to see that you're, you know, seemingly getting back to that. And I suppose when you have had kind of outside world distractions and everything like that, how important and how nice has it been to have somebody like Carl Greaves around and you know, supporting you?
I mean, look, Carl's been. So Carl knows everything. Well, you know, and it's not just me. It's like all his fighters under him as well. He knows everything that I'm going through. He's supported everything. He said he's willing to help me out. He's even, you know, helped me with like my license and my medicals and stuff like that. And you know, because he cares. You know what I mean? And he knows the game. He was a professional boxer himself. He knows what it's like. You know, everyone's got a personal life on, you know, outside of boxing, and it is hard when you're maintaining everything and you've got things to deal with outside of boxing. But with the likes of Carl, like he's helped me out big time, and I'm really appreciative of what he's done for me. And you know, it's not just him; it's like the other guys as well, like Adam Cadbury, obviously the other trainers, and even like the lads down there, Tom Pogson. He regularly rings me up, checking on me. You're like, "How you doing, Bosh? You all good?" Like, you know what I mean? And I appreciate moments like that because it shows people are still caring and thinking about you. And then, you know, in that time like space, I met new people, good people as well that I'm good friends with, and they all check up on you, and it's good to be surrounded by good people like that.
No, it's amazing, and it's very important. And I suppose when you know, have been going for a little bit outside, how, you know, how much have you learnt about your kind of group surrounding you in general?
Well, for what I've learnt a lot. Like especially over the last 2 years, I learnt a lot with groups. You know, as you get older yourself, when you start, you know, maturing a bit more. Mellow out a little bit more as well. Your group of friends get smaller. People you socialise get smaller. Your priorities change as well. Like I'm a father of 3 as well. So when I do have my kids, I do try, you know, spend that that available time that I've got with them as much as I can. You know, so it is a big eye opener, and I do believe, you know, unexpected things can be miracles. So with the stuff that's gone on, it will eventually lead to good stuff, even, you know, if the outcome is good or bad. You know, it doesn't define me from the person, you know, from the past or whatever. You know, you're always changing, and I think everyone who did support me and come with me from then, you know, I'm very appreciative, and I've got nothing but love for them all. And I know who's who, and who to stay away from, and who, you know what I mean. And yeah, like I say, everyone's got a personal life and stuff to deal with, and it's it's a big eye opener. It's definitely a big eye opener. But I've learned. That's the most important thing, and I'm happy. So from it all, I'm in a good mindset. I'm very content. I'm very happy with myself. I have a very good job. My boss is very decent. I work with very good people. So no, I think from an end, you know who's who, and you know who's got your best interest.
Mm. Oh, it's brilliant to hear, mate. And so yeah, and so I suppose when you are kind of making this kind of good return, and things are going well now, and what would you say that is what is your main kind of motivation for boxing currently?
My main motivation is still my same goal as I was a kid. Like I can't. Look, life is difficult, as you know. It throws everything at you. I can't let when times are tough define the road I'm on. Regardless, if what will be. You can't change that, but what you can change is your future. So I can start being more positive now, being on a positive road. My mindset is quite good like that. I'm quite grateful. Like I've already expanded on with the people around me. So the people around me help me to motivate myself. My dad helps me to motivate myself. My mum, helps me, and family members and stuff like that. So I've got people to remind me what road to keep taking.
No, it's amazing. And so I suppose, age-wise, 28, and, I suppose physically, you'd have to argue in your prime. Do you feel physically in your prime?
I am in my prime. I am in my prime.
Okay.
Yeah, I know I turned pro late in my career. I could have done it a couple of years ago. There is some videos out there why I explain I turned pro, because I had a long amateur career. So time is of the essence, and I've said to Carl, after this fight, I was like, I want a 50-50 fight where I've got a full training camp, and I take it, because I need opportunities like that now. Like, I want to take this road a bit different. Look, I've got a couple of losses on my record, but losses are for DJs at the end of the day, and that don't define me as a fighter. People who see me, that have competed and see me fight in person knows what I'm about. I bring the fight. I like to be involved in the action. I like to be there. So time is of the essence. So big fights, I'm hoping, and if I can pull off a couple upsets and stuff like that, I'm hoping like a TV, like a spot on the TV, and then yourself, if you can pull off an upset on that as well.
Yeah.
That's all it takes. I mean, like look at the likes of like Derek Chisora. That the man can box. He had a alright boxing, amateur boxing background and stuff like that, but he's got a few losses and stuff like that. And he's a gatekeeper at the end of the day. Who's the other guy? White Rhino dude. I forgot his name. Yeah, David Allen. Now he's the same. You know what I mean? A few losses, but he's an entertainer, and that's the road I want to take now. I understand. Like when you start your career, you got to build it up, fight a couple of journeymen, blah blah blah. But I can't do that now. So I've got to take the risk and then go for it. And obviously trying to earn as much money. My fighting style is only limited for a certain amount of years, because I do take a bit of punishment. And I know that. I'm not stupid. I'm not naive. And I hope that brings the entertainment value, especially when it comes to the TV market and stuff like that. And then, hopefully I can get some good money and buy a house and be sorted. That's all I need. But my goal is I want to at least reach to British level, champions title, and as welterweight. And if I can do that, then happy days.
Of course.
Happy days.
Often for prospects, you kind of see them sometimes like tiptoe around in fights, and not really go for fights too much. And I will say, from the fight which I did see of you, it was very entertaining fighting. You wouldn't really expect that to be that of a prospect, and I suppose the fans and support expect that.
To be fair, I didn't get told off, but I should be doing it basically because I can box. You know what I mean? So I should be taking it a little bit easy, or a little bit. Why are you drawing yourself into a war? Like, because I feel comfortable. That's my comfort zone. I like to be involved, even though I can box. I can box on the back foot and keep them at length and use my angles and stuff like that. Like, I should be having like close calls with like Dale or Joe Hardy, but Joe Hardy was, he's a tough dude as well. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, I can't help it because I think that's just my mentality with it. But I might shock a few people, and they might come to a fight and be like, "What the fuck's this? Why is this boxing all nice and pretty and cute and so?" You know what I mean? So just I noticed when I took that top boxer when I entered that tournament in Solihull. Like, a lot of the guys was trying to avoid me. They didn't want to get drawn into a war because they knew that with me and they was expecting that. But sometimes I might shock them. Like I say, like, I might surprise them with like changing different styles. I am working on a few stuff right now, but it's just that mentality, that little ego I got, where I just got like snap myself out of it. I'm like, all right, Con, listen, you're getting a bit carried away here. Just pay attention. You know what I mean? And box.
No, of course, but I mean, like you kind of said, certain, like I've mentioned as well, certain prospects, they do just kind of move around the ring a bit too much, don't really want to engage too much, and then when they actually get to like that of a top level, they get shown out, and it's proven, and so I suppose when fighters, they always get asked about how good their chin is, you've got to say that yours is up there.
Mate, I don't. I'm not, but I'm quite humble. But I like to think I've got a good chin. But I think that's just down to my style, really, because I don't know, quite durable, really, when it comes to it. But I've said it. Kurt Stevens or Stevenson, I believe he's the current Midlands champion. He entered the same tournament I did, won it, even though he had like three wins, 4 losses or something when he went into it. He won it against all undefeated fighters, and then after that won the Midlands, and then defended it. This is a guy who started off as like a journeyman, really, and then now he's fighting for the English. And I think this weekend coming or something like that. And he's the same thing. Like, he didn't tiptoe around prospects, and like he just took it. But he thought, you know what, I'm going to give it. And that's the same mentality how I got to give it. So big props to him. But I said it. Look, I get it. I understand when you're selling tickets and stuff like that. And guys trying to build themselves. And I would have done the same thing if I didn't have, that first loss, blah, blah, blah. Or certain situations that I did have. But, things change. So I'm going to fight some good prospects and hopefully upset them and come away. And then obviously that might be a little bit difficult down the road to be matched up with certain people because you know how it is, mate. You hear it. Like, you might hear 10-0, and they see me with a record, let's say 5 wins, 5 losses, let's say, they'll be like, it's risky. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but that's where the titles they might just say, look, there's an English title, do you want to take? Well, of course. That's where the opportunity comes in. So I'm not going to be tiptoeing. Not that. No point.
No point. Of course, it's a very refreshing mindset, which I'm liking to hear. And it seems like you've got a little bit more support in the way of sponsors. Is it right in saying you've got Newark FC on your side now?
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I've got Newark Town Football Club. I'm quite pleased with them to sponsor me, and they have a lot of following and stuff like that. So they help out with, like, obviously selling tickets and that, but just their support alone, because they have a massive support within the town I am. So it's really good to have those guys, support me, and I'll be wearing their club logo badge on my fight kits and shorts, t-shirts and whatnot. So no, I do appreciate it for those guys.
No, it's brilliant to hear. And so I'll leave with this final question. I always like to open the floor up to anybody that comes on. Is there anything you'd like to shout out, promote, anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, look, I like to shout out my sponsors. Obviously, we've got Wild Earth Campers, Fenton Autos, RR Design and Marketing, P-Well Plastering, and then obviously Newark Town Football Club, Official TT, which is clothing wear. I think that's all of them. Oh God, I hope I haven't forgot. And then obviously, look, a shout out to all my family and friends. And like we said, we have touched on this. They know I've gone through. Much love to you all. I appreciate it, and obviously I appreciate you all coming down and support me on fight night, and everyone that will be obviously there on fight night. And if they can't make it, look, I appreciate the support from home and stuff like that, because I believe it'd be on like Fight Zone anyway. So, and then obviously a good shout out to Carl Greaves himself and all the lads down at the boxing stable, like Tom Boxer and everyone, Tom Carney, everyone down there. You know what I mean? So no, I appreciate it.
Brilliant, and well, always a pleasure to speak to you, mate, and it's good to have you back in good spirits. And maybe, obviously, I feel like I might have to miss this fight of yours, unfortunately, but
it's good, mate. It's good.
Possibly afterwards, maybe I could come down to the gym sometimes and see what it's
like. Definitely, mate. No, I appreciate it. Honestly, I appreciate your time, mate. Thank you.
Brilliant stuff. And so if you are new around here and you're not yet subscribed, please do so. Like the video if you did indeed like the video, and thanks for watching.